What is going on, you guys? What is going on, you guys? It is Victory Monday. Good morning. Good morning. It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. Another episode of Philly's Morning Joe. I have my coffee. I hope you guys did. I am excited. I am happy. I mean, look, it wasn't the most beautiful game in the world. It wasn't the most beautiful win in the world. But guess what I said at the end of that sentence? Win. So that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. We're going to get into some stuff. We do have some unfortunate news. I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot of things happening. But we're going to talk about the positive first. And we're going to talk about Mr. When you come to, obviously it was in New England, right? But when you play Philadelphia and you want to celebrate a former player that we had to shut down, we come over here and we shut down Tom Brady Day. So Tom Brady Day was canceled yesterday. We are canceling that. That didn't even happen. He was in the booth. It looked like he was trying to call plays at some point. It looked like once they started turning the offense around, he was about to go down there and play. But Tom Brady, take yourself home. Enjoy your retirement. The Eagles go out there and they get the much needed victory. Like I said, this was not a beautiful game. This was not a beautiful game by any stretch of the imagination. There was definite question marks at every level of the field. I think that special teams we're still worried about a little bit. I think that defensively, we're looking at these linebackers, we're looking at these safeties a little bit suspect. Obviously, there was an injury. So we're going to talk about all that. And, we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts in specific a little bit because realistically, Jalen Hurts looked rusty. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He didn't have the worst game of his career. I think statistically it was one of his worst. But either way, it wasn't his worst game in the world. Obviously, we win, so it's a little bit easier to swallow. But shout out to everybody already in the chat, man. We already got 15 people in the chat. Shout out to all y'all, man. Who we got in here? We got KJ in here. We got Nina in here. We got Dank, Kelly Green, Burrito in the building. We got 4133, the podcast, KJ, Antonio Holmes. I see all y'all. Frank, what's going on? Parlaying with PJ. What's going on, PJ? What's up, Joe? I hit a good luck on Eagles last night. 300, good start for the year. Hey, make some money, man. I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that. Look, at the end of the day, I know a lot of people are going to talk junk. Not even a lot of people. The Cowboys fans are going to talk junk because that's what they do, right? They watched our game probably closer than we did. But the Eagles team is happy. I mean, fans should be happy. We probably knew or at least had some type of inkling that it was going to be a little bit tough. It was going to be a little bit tough. Jalen Hurts didn't see the field at all during the preseason, which I think might change next year. These guys looked rusty. The offense was just not in tune. There was a lot of times where you saw open wide receivers running around. Jalen just didn't see them. It was tough. It was really, really tough. But at the end of the day, we got that win. Shout out to Jalen Carter, obviously putting up the Eagles fly 26 minutes after the win. He was a big part of this game, and honestly, Jalen Carter, I think it was 7 pressures on the day, 1 sack. Obviously, the game-winning sack, right? I mean, that sack, we don't get that sack. Who knows what happens? Who knows where that ball ends up? Mac Jones was literally just, I don't know what was going on. He was ripping us apart for some of that game, and it was annoying the heck out of me. It comes down to our linebackers, though. That's really what I'm looking at. These linebackers have to be better in coverage. They were getting moved around by Mac Jones' eyes. That's not what you want. You're going to play better quarterbacks. If Mac Jones is getting you off your spot, that's a little bit worrisome for me. I'm going to be 100% honest. But shout out to Jalen Carter. He said fly, Eagles fly. Darius Slay, who we're going to talk about as well in today's show, probably closer to the end. He said a great team win. And Lane Johnson as well, putting up the 1-0 and the Go Birds. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I can't be too upset. I'm going to keep on saying that. I cannot be too upset because we walk away with the W. There's a lot to learn, right? My biggest thing is you either win, you lose, or you learn. In this one, I think that we did a little bit of both. We won and we learned, right? We won, but we learned a lot about this team and things that we need to get better. I think Brian Johnson needs to get a little bit better, maybe a little bit clearer in his communication, maybe a little bit more creative. Sean Desai needs to help his linebackers out, but there's a lot of things we have to talk about. So we're going to start with some bad news. Unfortunately, that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with a little bit of bad news. So as you guys know, Nakobe Dean, did get taken out of the game early yesterday, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Shout out to Nakobe Dean. I named my dog Nakobe, and he's literally laying on me right now. He was seen in a walking boot. All right, he was seen in a walking boot yesterday, walking out of the training room. I'm hearing that it's pretty bad. We're gonna get the information on the MRI today. Hopefully, probably by the end of the day. So once I get that information, I will, put it on the Twitter. So definitely go check it out. Now, I use this tweet because apparently this pissed everybody off. I was joking about Ringo moving to linebacker. It's just that everybody always says put Ringo here, put Ringo there, Ringo's this, Ringo's that. And that pissed everybody off, I guess so. But at the end of the day, this is something that I wanted to say on here because Nakobe Dean's injury does come right before the matchup against the Vikings. The Vikings, while they had a tough game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously losing that game, which I don't think anybody really saw that coming, but, they obviously went out there and lost that game. They have a very good offense, right? They have a very good offense. They got that kid Addison. They got, obviously, Justin Jefferson. They got Kirk Cousins. So they have a good team on offense, especially, and they can definitely make these linebackers pay if they are not on their spot, if they're not doing their job. Same thing with the safeties. I mean, you look at the touchdown. I want to say it was... which touchdown was it? But it was the touchdown that Justin Evans was basically out of position. It was on Darius Slay. It was on Bradbury, so it's going to get blamed on Bradbury. But Justin Evans was just out of position. So Nakobe Dean being out right now is not a good look. He did end up leading the team in tackles, which is, impressive, but I don't know if it was a great game by Nakobe Dean. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. When Christian Ellis went in there, I felt like the defense was a little bit more put together. Maybe that's just on the whim, right? I'm watching it as it goes. So it could be just something that, chill out. See, Nakobe, my dog's getting mad because we're talking junk about Nakobe. But no, look, it could be something that at the end of the day, it just was rust, right? Everybody doesn't know what's going on. Everybody's kind of trying to get used to each other. They did talk about Sean Desai on the sideline and how he was really good at just kind of trying to go with the flow of the game because, and I said this even to my girl yesterday, like the New England Patriots that we played were not the New England Patriots literally the day before. They changed a lot down to their running back, right? Like down to the running back situation. They went with Ty Montgomery, who they signed the day before. A lot of those offensive linemen they signed right before. It is what it is. I'm not happy about it, but at the end of the day, this injury is definitely not something we needed. And another guy that I don't have a graphic for, I just saw it today, Les Bowen said that Fletcher Cox may be getting an MRI today as well. And that's not good. See, defensive line, we can probably do, the Bourne touchdown, thank you. We can probably do without, obviously you never want to lose anybody, right? But defensive linemen we're a little bit deeper at, so it doesn't hurt as much, but it definitely hurts. Fletcher Cox had a couple big plays. Jalen Carter, man, I'm excited to see him get some more snaps if Fletcher Cox is out. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis would be very fun to watch. Jordan Davis looked really good yesterday, in my opinion, at making some big plays, obviously getting that big forced fumble. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they got some questions to answer, man, and another guy that may be out, which this is kind of up in the air, but this is per Jeff McClain. He said that cornerback James Bradbury was walking around the locker room with a bloodied lip. He also said that he seems fine, but he may have to miss the next game on Thursday if he has to go into concussion protocol. So if we are out Bradbury, it looks like Josh Jobe is the next guy in line. So, he looked all right. He made some good plays, right? So we'll see what happens there. I'm nervous. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The defense is not where we need to lose players right now. The defense is definitely not where we need to be losing players going into a short week, right? We play Thursday. We play in 3 days, guys. And our defense looked the most suspect. I need all my starters out there against a very, very good offense. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys because I think a lot of people are going to kind of poo-poo what the Patriots are. I don't think the Patriots are trash. I do not think the Patriots are trash. I said that they were middle of the road. That defense honestly was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. They were fast. They were all over the field. They were not letting Jalen Hurts get settled. And you got to give them respect for that. They did what they were supposed to do. I'm a little bit worried about our interior offensive line. I'm going to be 100% with you there. I am a little bit worried about what Cam Jurgens Cam Jurgens was getting lifted, man. I don't know, I saw it like once or twice. I'm gonna watch the film tonight while I'm at work. Hopefully my boss don't see this. But anyways, I'm gonna be watching the film tonight at work. I'm gonna probably have something out early morning on All About the Birds. So definitely go check that out. Go check out All About the Sports and All About the Birds. I'm gonna do a little film session for them, and then I'm also gonna bring a couple of clips over to the morning show. So we'll have some stuff to talk about probably tomorrow, if not Wednesday morning. We'll have those clips. But definitely go check out All About the Birds because I will have something out for them tomorrow. But look, that defense was a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Just fast, hungry, and Bill Belichick did things that we've never really seen defenses do. So there's a lot of excuses. That's what people are going to call them, right? They're excuses at the end of the day. But I don't know, man. We're going to get to some of these comments. We're going to get to I'm trying to talk myself into it at this point. I don't know. I really don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm hoping that this is just rust. I'm hoping that this is just one day and we'll get back to the grind. But let's get to some of these comments. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 30 people in the chat, man. Dank Burrito said Dallas and San Fran fans acting like the NFL is a beauty pageant. Realistically, Dak didn't do anything either. Dak had like $140, and that's what I said on Twitter, man. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I even said it. I was like, if that was Jalen Hurts, right? Because they both had basically the same game. Jalen Hurts just had one more touchdown. If that was Jalen Hurts, they would have been like, oh, they don't trust Jalen Hurts. Why is he not throwing 300 yards? But you know what they said? Buckle in for this because this is going to be funny. They said to me, if you're running so well, why should he have to throw it? Have we not been saying that about Jalen Hurts? Have we not been saying that there's a whole team around him? But, I digress. When it's Dak Chocolate Rain Prescott, you know what I'm saying? He can do no wrong, man. He can do no wrong. Dank said, I didn't see that at all. I saw Ellis out of place. I got to check it then. I got to check it because I don't know. It looked... He, especially on some of the screenplays, he definitely looked like he knew where he was supposed to be. But again, I want to see the film and we'll see what happens. Antonio said, I'm nervous because offense looks crazy right now. Yeah, the offensive line mostly. That's what I'm worried about. Devontae Smith looked decent. Dallas Goedert was getting open. A.J. Brown obviously started taking over towards the end of the game. Jalen Hurts made good throws when he was given the time. The running game just wasn't utilized at all. Like, this reminds me of almost every single opening day. I feel like every opening game, at least in the Nick Sirianni era, I guess, you can even go back to Doug Peterson. We complain about how much they run the ball or how little they run the ball. I think they ran it 20 times maybe, if that. So, and most of those were Jalen Hurts, and some of them were designed. Some of them were him just trying to get out of the pocket. I really don't understand the admiration with not throwing the ball, especially when we didn't have that many plays. DeAndre Swift was not used at all. Kenny Gainwell looked decent. Don't get me wrong. Kenny Gainwell did all right. But why are we not using DeAndre Swift? Why are we using Boston Scott felt like more than DeAndre Swift? Like, we got to figure some things out. And it comes down to Brian Johnson, in my opinion. It really does. I knew this was going to come, Charlie. I ain't going to lie. If Penny was playing the running game, it would have been more balanced, I think. I don't know what Penny would have brought to this running game. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what DeAndre Swift would have brought to this running game because we didn't run them. We didn't run him. We didn't let him actually run the ball. I think he had one rushing attempt. Like, you can't get out of the game. Why trade for him if you're not even going to use him? It makes no sense. The Hitman says, yeah, we are thin at linebacker. We are, and it's scary. It's scary. Eagles fan says Jurgens was bad yesterday. He definitely was. So, look, one thing that I know that we all want to talk about that we're all kind of confused about is the lack of use for Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert was talking after the game, obviously, at the locker rooms, and they asked him about it. They asked him about his lack of touches and how he felt. He didn't get a target until the second half, and we all saw a lot of plays, right? We saw, I don't want to say a lot of plays, but at least 2 or 3 plays that Dallas Goedert was running free, and Jalen Hurts just didn't see him. Now, is that Jalen Hurts being under pressure? Is that Jalen Hurts just being keyed in on one guy? Is that a decision prior to snap saying this is the guy you're throwing it to no matter what? I don't know, because sometimes he threw it into double coverage. He was under pressure most of the time, but I don't really know what is going on there. So Jalen Hurts, he's going to have to look at that film. And we look back at last year. We look back at Devontae Smith. Didn't have one catch in that first game. Went on to break a franchise record in reception. So I'm not, going crazy. I'm not losing my mind. I'm not too scared. Dallas Goedert, I'm sure, will be a huge part of this offense moving forward. But when asked, he said, I'm not in charge of those calls. Maybe next week will be my week. If not, I'll keep on chugging. It was a good team win, and I'm really proud of how the team played. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. I mean, at the end of the day, Dallas Goedert is a huge part of this offense. Whether or not he's touching the ball, he's going to command, eyes at the end of the day, right? He's going to be a guy that you're going to have to watch. You're going to have to make sure that he's not getting over the top of you, not getting wide open. Yesterday he was. So that is something that the Eagles are going to have to look back at, and they're going to have to figure out why they weren't able to take advantage of something like that. Because going down the year, right, I think the New England Patriots are going to probably be a decent team. I'm not going to say that they're great, but they'll probably be a middle-of-the-road team. So going down the line, you're going to play better teams. And if you're not able to take advantage of situations like that, I don't know if your defense is going to be able to bail you out every single time. So that's where I am with that. Dallas Goedert definitely needs to be a bigger part of this offense, and I think he will be moving down the line. I also wanted to talk about Jalen Hurts, man, because, look, one big part of being a leader, right? What's going on, NFL Reality Check? Good morning. One big part of being a leader is understanding and taking accountability for stuff that goes wrong. And I think, take away that via Ed Kratz. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I put that. But Josh Tolentino said this. And he said that Jalen Hurts just walked across the locker room and he thanked every single defensive player on all their stalls and their efforts in the second half. So he understands that his defense bailed him out. His defense really went out there and played a hellified game, and that is a leader. That is a leader. If I talked to my girl about this with work and stuff, right? Just random jobs that you work, and when your boss, when your leader comes up to you and says, "Hey, I see what you did. I acknowledge what you did. I appreciate what you did." That makes you want to go to war for that person, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but if somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, I appreciate what you just did. You just really helped me out." Right? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. When a guy like Jalen Hurts can literally sit there and be like, "Hey, we won. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be an MVP again." He could have just talked that talk like, "I don't care about my numbers. We won, right? I did what we had to do to win." Like, no, he understood that wasn't his game. That was not his game. That was his team's game. And that's huge. Jalen Hurts continuously is showing me the maturation that I wanted to see. I really do believe that Jalen Hurts took that next step this year. And the question I asked yesterday, I think on here, was, what was the next step? What was it that he was working on? I asked it on Best of Enemies, excuse me. I was like, what is the next step? What is he been working on when it comes to the offseason? What has he been trying to get better at? And there's a couple of plays that stand out to me, and they were bad plays. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the plays that he just threw the ball away, where he was just kind of floating to the sideline, didn't see anybody, whether there's a person down there or not. He didn't see anybody in that moment. He threw the ball away. Old Jalen Hurts might have took a couple more hits. Old Jalen Hurts maybe takes a sack or two that he didn't need to. And I love that, right? You look at the fumble, the kind of miffed snap, I guess I'll call it. It was really on Jalen. He just didn't hold the ball. But you look at that fumble and him just falling on it. I think that's a very big thing, man. Like, I said it during the game. I was like, an older Jalen, or younger Jalen, I should say, he probably would have tried to pick that up and make a play out of it. Instead, he said, "All right, let me just eat this, and move on to the next play." And that's what you need. That's really, really what you need, man. So, quick, let's get back to some of the comments. I see you guys going crazy in the comments. I appreciate it. What's going on, Chiquita? We beat Detroit 35-38 last year. And that's another thing. Eagles fan. At the end of the day, we've looked kind of bad in these opening games for a while. We barely won last year. I think we barely won the year before that, but we barely won last year, and look at what happened. We never looked back, right? It was a close game, and we just never looked back after that. I think we learned a lot from that game, and that's the same thing we got to do, man. I feel bad for Goddard. He was open. He was open. He was definitely open. He was definitely open a lot. The deep shot to AJ was a predetermined decision by Hurts. That's what it felt like. Game one weather was a big factor. It was, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm going to blame it on, because at the end of the day, there was plays to be made. There was definitely plays to be made, and Jalen just didn't make them. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Jalen just didn't make them. So that's really where we gotta. I don't want to sit here and make excuses because we can't. We're a Super Bowl team. That's really where I'm at. We are a Super Bowl team. There's no more excuses. There's no more, well, this happened, well, that happened. Those things are going to happen. If it rains in the Super Bowl, I'm not going to say, well, it was because, no, go out there and win the damn game. We won the game. So, it is what it is. I definitely think that weather may have played into it, but I don't think it was a determining factor of how our offense played. I think it was rust. I really, really do. And I kind of want to go down the Hurts hit list because there was pros and there was cons to his game this week. I truly do believe that. And some of his pros, excuse me, I can't talk. His pros. Let me slow down. I have too much energy today. I just realized we just got to like 30 minutes already. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. But anyways, one of his pros, man, like I said, he was calm. He was calm throughout the game. He really was. He in bad situations, under pressure, he didn't make decisions that I sat there and was like, Jalen, what are you doing? Were there open guys that he didn't see? Definitely. But as far as trying to make a good decision, I didn't feel like he was flustered. I didn't feel like he was running around with his head cut off. I think that he kept calm and he knew what he was trying to do. Accurate. This might rub some people the wrong way. I don't know why, but it might. He was very accurate. When he had the time, he was making some great throws. Tell me if I'm wrong here. When he had the time, he had some great throws. So I want to say that, Jalen showed his accuracy again when he was able to find open receivers. When he was, even the A.J. Brown throw was a little bit overthrown, but it was in a spot where realistically only A.J. Brown would be able to get that. He had double coverage, and A.J. Brown probably could have got that. I mean, if he had an extra step, it was literally an extra step. But at the end of the day, I liked his accuracy. I liked what I saw. And smart. Now, smart isn't necessarily the missed guys, right? That's not smart. We want him to be able to see the full field, but he was smart enough to take plays that just give up on plays that weren't there. Like I said, when he was throwing the ball away, when he was just sitting on the ball, when it is what it is. Sometimes you got to live to fight another day, and Jalen Hurts did that a lot, and I love seeing that because we do have a good defense, right? This week wasn't what we want to see our defense be. It was a little inconsistent. It was all over the place. Towards the end, it felt like Mac Jones could do whatever he wanted to do. But with Jalen Hurts, he at least was smart enough to know, let me not put my defense in too bad of a situation. Let me make sure that we at least have a chance of moving down the field. Now, the fumble was tough. The fumble, it sucked. I'm not going to lie. It really did suck. That fumble, because it's not Jalen Hurts, and I feel like a lot of people are going to start to act like, oh, fumbling Hurts, Mr. Fumble Hurt. He doesn't fumble that much. He's not really that type of guy, and I know he's going to be beating himself up about that for a while. I know I'm going to be beating myself up about it, and I ain't even fumble it. And I'm mad about it, but it is what it is. And then some of the cons, man, he was rusty. The whole team, I think, was rusty, right? I think everybody, and the rustiness goes into maybe seeing the whole field. I don't feel like he saw the whole field, and I'm gonna blame that on rustiness. I'm gonna blame that on his rustiness. I'm gonna blame that on him not having the time to kind of get used to his players and everything. But yeah, KJ, I agree. He'll be fine. This is all stuff. Again, like I said, you either win or you learn, and he did both. He won and he learned. So it's time for him to just take this and move forward with it. It's not that big of a deal. Another con was that he was a bit indecisive. There were some times, while I like that he's trying to drift to the sideline, make a bigger play down the field, there were some times that I would have liked to see him maybe go get 3 or 4 yards and run out of bounds and try and give us, because it just didn't feel like our running game was a part of this game. So at least if Jalen Hurts was making some plays as a running, it would have helped us a little bit. So I definitely wanted to see him be a little bit more decisive. And again, this is something that we will definitely see down the line. Let's see some of these comments. And the deep ball looks good early. Yeah, I mean, you can't really be that mad. Go Birds regardless. What's going on, Weezy? What's going on? Good morning, John. Now we have room to improve going forward. Solid team win, though. I agree. I think that's a great way to look at it, John, because if you really look at it, the Eagles, if we go into this game, we blow them out. It's like, all right, what do we have to do? Like, we're great. Oh, nothing to work on. Like, nah, we are not just like they said during the game, just like Jalen Hurts said, after the Kansas City game, nobody gives a damn what you did last year. Nobody gives a damn what you did last year. So this year you have to go out there and you have to be a different team. Just like the New England Patriots had 5 months to get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's not like we went out there and just, looked terrible against a terrible team and, all doom and gloom. We had a bad game, but at the end of the day, I think that is something that we can grow from. We can get better from. We can learn from. I'm going to keep saying that. Learn. We gonna learn, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 40 people in the chat. I love y'all. All right, so Lonely B says the play calling concerns me. The coaching questions have not been answered. I'm happy that the Eagles learned they can win with defense and special teams. Special teams did all right. Sidney Brown had some crazy hits. And Aaron Sipas, I know everybody hates Aaron Sipas, but I really didn't think he did all that bad. The situations that he was in on his own 10-yard line, and he punted it to their 30. He had a 50-yarder, had a 58-yarder that got called back. But, at the end of the day, I'm not too mad about it. Do I love it? No, but I don't think that he was trash. A lot of people, I think, unfairly just bash this man, and I don't think he was that bad. How do I feel about the play calling? Offensively, I thought it was very vanilla. Defensively, I thought it was really weird because I felt like every time we had a little bit of a lead, we just started playing very soft, playing off defense, playing off coverage, and I hated that. And Sean Desai didn't make me feel him. He didn't. I mean, that's what it was all off season, right? We're gonna make the teams feel us. We're gonna make fans feel us. You're gonna feel us when we come to play. I didn't feel him. I did not feel him. Did y'all feel them? I didn't feel them. The defensive line, I felt them. I felt that defensive line. I felt Jordan Davis. I felt Jalen Carter. I didn't feel many other I did not feel many other parts of that defense. So even, look, we're going to talk about him. Darius Slay, to me, is probably the player of the game, and we're going to get to that. But even him, man, there was some plays that I looked at, and I was like, Darius was out of position. Maybe a better catch, a better throw, and that's a big play. Even towards the end of the game, if he's able to get both his feet in, who knows what happens at the end of that game, right? So we got bailed out a couple times, and there's definitely everybody on this team has to answer to something. I think Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis may be the only two people that have no film to really look at and be like, bruh, come on, what are you doing? I think everybody had some really bad plays, some really bad drives. So we'll see what happens. The play calling definitely needs to stop being so vanilla, especially defensively. But again, I think that's something that along the season that'll get better. I didn't agree with that QB draw, even if he hadn't fumbled. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why are we not running our running backs? Why are we not using DeAndre Swift in that situation? That's literally a situation that you use your running backs and you try to soak the game away. Why are we using Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts did not need to be running that ball. What if he would have, knock on wood, what if he would have got hurt? Where would we be right now? Because we wanted to run a draw? That just doesn't make sense. Dank says, I chalked this game up to this. We went up 16-0, took the foot off the gas. When it got close, we weren't able to get in rhythm. I agree to a certain extent. I definitely agree to a certain extent. I really hope it was the looks that Belichick was throwing at Hurts that made him abandon the pocket too soon. It's a learning experience. I got to see the film, but it didn't feel like he really abandoned the pocket too soon. The interior offensive line really was not holding at all. They were not holding up. So, and again, Cam Jurgens didn't look great, man. He got pushed off the ball a couple times. So, it worries me. Cam Jurgens definitely worries me because that was the first time I got to see him in live game action. So hopefully he gets better, but that was a little bit worrisome. Pats are a well-coached team. They always take away the first option. Their defense is good. I can't. And Christian Gonzalez looked just as good as advertised. He's a really good kid, man. He was a really nice dude when I got to meet him at the draft and the combine. So, I mean, he played really well. You can't take anything away from the Patriots, man. You really can't. You really cannot take anything away from the Patriots. Drew said this is preseason game 1 around the league. Yeah, especially for us because nobody played. Jake Elliott definitely player of the game. He should have. I mean, yeah, you could definitely make that argument. Kobe ran pretty well. He did. Kobe did pretty good. Sidney Brown was getting to that ball. Special teams, he was looking good. He was looking good on special teams. Slay hurt me, getting beat with that double move, bro. Yeah, it wasn't that good. Deciding blitz, but twice from what I've seen. Yeah, I want to watch that whole game because he just looked vanilla. He really looked vanilla. Now, I don't know if it was because you don't trust your linebackers in coverage by themselves, but it's like, then blitz your linebacker. I don't know, like do something. You know what I mean? It felt like the linebackers weren't doing anything anyway. So might as well blitz them. Like might as well try and get some extra pressure. Yeah, they tackled really good. Look, they were really good. I'm not gonna sit here and cap on them. They played well. It is what it is. You know, the Patriots played well on defense. Talking about offense, man. You know, look. Jalen Hurts, not the most overwhelming game when it comes to stats, right? 22 out of 33, 170 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 37 yards rushing on 9 attempts, actually. 9 attempts for 37 yards. So, you know, it is what it is. Mac Jones went out there and he did his thing, man. 35 of 54, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 interception and 15 yards rushing. The fact that he threw the ball 54 times really, really surprised me. But he was able to get the ball over the middle so easily because of our linebackers. And that's really what worries me. I know we won, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, doom and gloom, we're trash. But that really worries me, man. The middle of that field definitely worries me. If you're letting a guy like Mac Jones just eat on you like that, it doesn't bode well. And those tight ends, I said it before the game. I said it on Best of Enemies. I kept saying those tight ends were going to be something to watch. Those tight ends versus our linebackers because they are good. Hunter Henry had himself a nice little game. Mike Gesicki had himself a nice little game. We cannot move forward. We cannot move forward with these linebackers giving it up like that to tight ends. We just cannot. We cannot. That has to improve. There is no way that we are going to make it to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl, make it to wherever we want to get with them playing like that. There's just no way, man. There's just no way. Only 11 interceptions is pretty good. For who, Mac? Oh, incompletions. Yeah, no, I mean, look. Yeah, Jalen Hurts did not do terrible, but he did not get the ball down the field. There was a lot of times where, again, he had to throw the ball away. He had to, just kill the ball, run out of bounds. There was a lot of plays that just were dead because of the interior pressure. Blitzing Ellis led to Carter's sack 6. Yeah, sack, yeah. Now we gotta hear from BGJ. Oh, he already messaged me, bro. Big Gabe James is hype. And, look, they have every right to be hyped. They should be happy that they won. You know what I'm saying? That defense looked absolutely dominant, and that's what you want, right? That's what you want. Usually defenses are a little bit ahead of offenses. So, I mean, look, that's what you want. That defense looked really, really good for Dallas. The offense did what they had to do, right? That's it. They did exactly what they had to do. They didn't necessarily give up the ball. They didn't really, give any chances to outside of that first drive. They didn't really give any chances to the Giants to really get back in that game. And Daniel Jones looked garbage. Daniel Jones looked absolutely terrible. There was a lot of plays where it was just, Danny, what the heck are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Darren Waller, like I said, doesn't look like he really fits that offense. He could still be a little bit hurt from that hamstring injury. But, I mean, Giants did not look good, and that's not taking anything away from the Cowboys win. They won, congratulations to them. Good for them, good for you. Really don't give a damn. But, it is what it is. Hey, Daniel Jones looks bad, bro. Daniel Jones looked bad. He had one completion in the first quarter. It was terrible, bro. There was a point in that game. I want to say it was midway through the second quarter that he had negative 15 yards passing. How in the world? And what did he end with? Let me see real quick. What did he end with? Because there's no way. I mean, you paid him all this money. There was so many Giants fans telling me, Joe, you're sleeping on Daniel Jones. Don't sleep on Daniel Jones. Don't sleep on He had 104 yards. I am snoozing, bro. I am snoozing. Tyrod Taylor should be their starter. I know that they just spent all that money on him. I don't care, man. If I'm the if I'm the Giants, I'm starting Tyrod Taylor. That was an ugly game. That was a terrible game. Terrible game from him. So, I mean, maybe I'm hating. Everybody tells me I'm always hating. So, maybe I am. But at the end of the day, that was a horrible game. I want to look at this real quick, I want to look at the poll, see where it is right now. Because I asked you guys how you felt about this, and I want to... So if you didn't already, I think we have like 35 people still in here. We got 41 people in here. Shout out to all y'all. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. We are at 23 likes. We got 41 people in here. I appreciate all y'all. I love all y'all. But we have a poll in the chat. We already got 45 votes. And I asked you guys, how do you feel about the win? And, 23% are saying, 22% now, are saying they're confident. 61% are saying they're just happy we got a win. And 17% of you guys are nervous. So from my answer, if I'm being 100% honest, right? For my answer, I'm just happy we got the win. I'm not confident. I'm not nervous. There's certain players that I'm definitely confident in, right? There's certain players that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the rest of him. Like Jalen Carter, can't wait to see what this dude does throughout the year. Jordan Davis, can't wait to see what this dude does throughout the year. And there's some other guys, but even Quez Watkins, man. Quez Watkins had some good plays. Let me see what he ended with. I think he had like 2 or 3 catches, right? Yeah, he had 2 catches, 17 yards. He had some good plays. He was there on that 3rd down, got the 1st down for us. So, look, there's a lot of things to look at and be happy about. There's a lot of things to look at and be a little bit worried about. N'Kobe will probably miss 2 weeks. Did they put it out yet? Did they say anything? Because I know they were saying that it looked pretty bad. I'm hoping that it's nothing crazy. 2 weeks, I could deal with that, right? 2 weeks, I could deal with that. Let me see if anybody... No, I'm not seeing any information yet. And yeah, Nolan Smith had 7 snaps. Like, what is that? Nolan Smith had 7 snaps. What's the point? Why are you getting these guys if you're not going to use them? I really don't understand it. I really don't understand why the Philadelphia Eagles were not utilizing DeAndre Swift. Why aren't you utilizing Nolan Smith? Why? Even it is what it is. We're going to talk about this more over the week. Obviously we're going to be doing these lives every morning, but it's just a little frustrating. There's a lot of frustrating parts of this game. But the good part is that we won. And that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. The doctor that was on Jacob said it might be a strain. Okay. So hopefully, that's not great, right? That's not what you want, but that's not terrible. I can live with that. I can definitely live that. Can't blame Danny Dimes for the worst O-line in the NFL. They do have a bad offensive line. But from what I saw, I only watched like the first half. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But I don't even think I finished the first half. I think I watched the first quarter and a half. And I literally was like, I can't watch this, man. This is boring. But, it is what it is. Danny just didn't look good, man. Danny Jones just didn't look good. We'll see what happens moving down the line. But I don't think he's that good. Next and lastly, we'll probably talk about this for about 10 minutes and then just kind of finish off with some information I wanted to get out to you guys. But they did the power rankings, right? So they did the power rankings and we were power ranked number 2. Now this came out right before the season had started. So this is, 2 weeks old, right? 2 weeks old. And basically, they had us at number 2. What The Athletic did was they gave us a best case scenario for the Eagles, and they gave us a worst case scenario for the Eagles. So I want to react to this with you guys. I want to know what you guys think. If you saw this already, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. But this is what they said for the best case scenario. Again, this is from The Athletic. They said for the 3rd consecutive season, this is the best case scenario. For the 3rd consecutive season, Jalen Hurts is better than he was the year before. And his fortune of getting to throw to arguably the best trio of pass catchers means the Eagles have the best offense in the NFL. The expected weakness of the NFC proves correct, and the team has an easy return path to the Super Bowl. Is that our best? Is that our best scenario? Yeah, the last part, definitely, right? We get an easy path to the Super Bowl. That would be awesome. But Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's going to probably get better again. But I don't think that the offense being the best in the NFL is the best case scenario. I think the defense. I think if our defense is the best case, is the best in the league, And ain't nobody really beating us. Last year, I think our defense was the problem when it came to the Super Bowl, right? So if our defense gets better, if our defense is a top 5 unit throughout the season and throughout the playoffs, I think that's the best case scenario. What do y'all think? Am I bugging there? I think if you look at what this offense has done already this year, they did enough even with a bad game, right? And if you look at the defense this game, they did enough with a bad game. But if the defense can be dominant, if the defense shuts them, if the defense is what we saw in the first quarter, then I think that this team is damn near unbeatable. I truly do believe that this team is damn near unbeatable if you see that. So I have to disagree here. I agree that, yeah, if we can get an easy path to the Super Bowl, then awesome. If not, then, the defense needs to get better, and I think that would be the best case scenario. Shout out to my guy, Jeff Bone, the Bonehead, man. Go check out his YouTube page, bro. I just pinned his chat. Everybody go check out his YouTube page once we done with here. Go subscribe. Check out his videos. Go show him love, man. That's my dog right there. Status on Fletch. Honestly, I had no idea that he was even hurt. To be real with you, I just saw that, from Les Bowen. I saw that this morning that he is going to get an MRI. So we will keep an eye out on that, and we'll see what happens there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. And we'll see what happens. Barry said I fell asleep for the Cowboys-Giants game. Yeah, I just couldn't watch it. It was getting bored. I really don't care about other teams. I really don't. I was gonna talk junk to James either way, so it really didn't matter what happened in that game. And I'm still gonna talk junk on Sunday to James either way. It really don't matter to me. Stony Hawk said, "I'm just pumped we didn't miss on Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is a dog, man. Jordan Davis is a dog, man. I'm very, very happy with him." I was so stressed out over the Pats game, I didn't want to watch football last night, especially with those two clowns. I feel that. They told us about all our rookies going to make a difference, and only Carter played snaps. Shake my head. Steen was inactive. Brown played special teams, only 7 snaps for Smith, and Ringo's got 0 snaps. Yeah, I mean, Ringo, I'm okay with him getting 0 snaps. Josh Joby, he looked decent when he was out there. Again, I want to see the film because, I'll be able to make a better analysis. When I'm watching the game, I watch as a fan, right? Like, there's some plays that I watch and be like, oh, let me remember that. But for the most part, I'm just like, I'm watching as a fan. I'm hype. I'm yelling. I'm damn near getting kicked out of our apartment complex. Like, I'm hype as a fan when I'm watching the game. So it's hard for me to really, like, sit there and analyze every single play. But Josh Jobe looked good. Steen being inactive was a little bit weird, especially seeing how Cam Jurgens played. I'm really worried about Cam Jurgens. I'm going to be 100% honest. And then, yeah, Carter definitely made an impact. Yeah, Brown looked really good on special teams. I will say that. If that's where he's going to be a dog this year, I'm okay with that, to be 100% honest. I do want to see him take over for Justin Evans, because Justin Evans did not look good. Chiquita said she fell asleep. I think a lot of people did. Excuse me. Barry Keefe says, yeah, whiners and cowgirl fans are running around trolling like a bunch of peacocks. Yeah, bro, look, they have every reason to be happy. You went out there and you dominated. I'm not going to sit here, wait till best of enemies, and then I'll start talking my junk. But, they got a reason to be happy. Hey, you win. That's all you go out there to do. We have a reason to be happy too. It's just we're a little bit more realistic, right? That's what I like about us Eagles fans. We're a little bit more realistic. People might say that it's doom and gloom, that we're always hating on our team. No, we're just honest. We're realistic about what we saw and what we want to see, because that's what it comes down to, right? It's not we saw a win and that's what we want, right? But that's not how we want to win. That is not how we want to win, and that's not sustainable. So, I mean, you can argue that the Giants, the Cowboys win wasn't really sustainable either. You're going to need your quarterback to make some type of plays. And, he threw for 140 yards, no touchdowns. I know they're going to bring up all this, that there was a full moon, there was a wolf on the sideline, he forgot how to Dougie. They're going to make up all these excuses, but at the end of the day, that's not sustainable. Your defense is very good. Our defense should get better. So it is what it is. Justin Evans' cheeks. He didn't play good, bro. He did not play good at all. He was out of position a lot. I'm worried about Jurgens this year, and as I was worried about, say, Amalu a couple years ago, O-line needs time to gel. I can agree with that. When we dominated the Giants, it was just the Giants. Facts. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts went crazy. I won't say crazy, but he had like a $160 or something like that as far as passing, but he had like 3 touchdowns that game. Like he did his thing against the Giants, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We were up 38. We won 38-7. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really have to keep throwing the ball either, but they kept on saying, "Oh, you guys didn't trust him." Yeah, I didn't trust Jalen Hurts because, he only had a $160 passing, and that's all that matters. The win don't matter. You guys don't trust. Yeah, it's annoying listening to them, but it is what it is. You're going to hear it all week. I think that it's more so on Eagles fans because we allow it to continuously happen and we continuously feed into it, and we continuously on Twitter, on all these social medias, we're like, oh, but the Cowboys, oh, but look at the Cowboy. Like, who gives a damn? Stop talking about the Cowboy. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I brought him up in this, but it is what it is. I'm different, okay? Just like Cowboys fans say, when Dak Prescott throws the same amount of yards as Jalen Hurts, I'm different. I can say that, right? Shout out to my guy, Brandon Jordan, man. Brandon, what's going on? What's going on, B? What's going on? He said if I'd throw Sidney Brown in there, maybe not versus Vikings because of the short week, but week 3, give the kid a shot. Dude's a missile. Yeah, when he hits people, bruh, it was funny because my girl was like, why did he hit him like that? Why he didn't have to do that? Yes, he did, baby. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said we should have played our starters a few reps in the preseason and keep them fresh. I think that that's something we're going to have to revisit next year. I really do. I really do. Cowboys won a Super Bowl. You hear? Yeah. Apparently the whole season's canceled, guys. The whole season's over. No need to play the rest of the season because, they won. Yeah, they won 40-0. So God bless, But remember, last year it was the easiest path in the world, right? We played Daniel Jones. The easiest pass ever. Oh my God. Shut the hell up. Your boy William Burney, is that his name? Literally said, yeah, but we allow 0 points. Bro, he gets 0 girls. How about that? Let's do that. Now, I'm going to start just talking junk about people on it. I don't care, man. He gets 0 play. His podcast gets 0 views. Like, I really don't care. He can say whatever he wants, bro. He just be saying whatever Rome says. And he just said he changes a couple of the words. He going to get copyright stricken by Rome if he keeps on stealing all his words. But anyways, let's go to the worst case scenario. No, we just went on a little tangent of hating. But this is what they say the worst case scenario is. And honestly, after the first game, you might get a little bit nervous hearing this. But they say regression hits hard for a team that was exceedingly healthy and turnover lucky in 2022. And a more difficult schedule drops Philadelphia into second place in the NFC East. The defense takes a big step back after so much offseason turnover. Jalen Carter is more of a typical rookie defensive tackle than an immediate Javon Hargrave replacement, which I don't think that might be true. I think that Jalen Carter showed that he might be that guy. And playing on Christmas Day means hackneyed references to snowballs and Santa. Don't we play Christmas Eve? I'm so tired of hearing about Santa Claus and those snowballs. I never, do you know Santa Claus? Do these people know who that Santa Claus was? Was that their uncle or something? Because they bring it up every damn day. I want to meet that guy. If anybody knows who the Santa Claus was that we threw snowballs at, I want to have him on the show, and I want to know if he's still mad at us, because apparently the rest of the world is. Apparently everybody else is. Wait until we show Vikings how a beating looks. Exactly. EC said Cowboys fan rode a small school bus. Big facts. Brady says, well, maybe they might have to throw Sydney in if N'Kobe. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that. He said that Santa's probably dead. It wasn't that long ago, was it? It was like, what, 30 years ago? He's probably like 80 or something. We could talk. But no, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Jalen Carter is that dude. That man is yeah, Jalen Carter is a dude. But that was before the season started. And that was just saying what the worst case scenario could be. Like what we would hate to see, right? Sidney Brown is jacked. He looks like a linebacker. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows what happens? I said put Kaylee Ringo at linebacker as a joke because everybody says put this person there, put that person there, and I got roasted. But let's not forget that we put Jacoby Stevens at linebacker, who is basically the same size as, you know what? I'm backing that. It wasn't a joke no more. Put Ringo at linebacker because we've done it before. I'm so tired of people on Twitter thinking they know what the heck they talking about. And then they go to like insulting you. It's never like, oh, I don't agree because of this and that. It's literally, I was called fat, I was called an idiot, I was called that, I was called this, all by people with like 4 followers on Twitter. So it's like, bro, like, okay, what do you want me to say? You want me to say sorry? I'm sorry that I have an opinion. But shout out to everybody, man. We got 60 people in the chat, but we only have 36 likes. Can we get those likes up? I would really, really appreciate that, guys. I would really appreciate that. Dan Cilio, write this. What an uneducated dope. He didn't write this. Dan Cilio didn't write this. They thought that because he was drunk too much eggnog. What's going on, Willie? What's going on? All right, so last thing I want to do, and then we'll just talk a little bit more before we get out of here, is I do want to go over the game, player of the game, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, it is going to be Darius Slay, man. Darius Slay, while he was out of position on some plays, I'm going to be 100% honest about that, because I know there's going to be a bunch of fans out there doing the all 22, and they're going to be looking at it, and they're going to be like, oh, Joe said he's the player of the game, but look at this one play. He was out of position. Look at this play. He's out of position. Look at him on the sideline. He didn't even drink Gatorade. Like, I know that they're going to try and nitpick everything that he did. But at the end of the day, that touchdown that he got in the beginning of the game, you can say that was the game-winning touchdown. If we don't have that defensive touchdown, we probably don't win this game. He had 3 total tackles. He had an interception, obviously, that went for the touchdown, and he had 3 pass deflections. He was by far the best cornerback, which is not saying much, unfortunately, of that game for us. So, and he was probably the best defensive player outside of the D-line, right? I know a lot of people can say Jake Elliott, and I think that that's fair. I think that that's 110% fair, and maybe I should have put Jake Elliott, but I wanted to talk about Darius Slay because I have his jersey and I have it signed, so he's my player of the game. So, but no, at the end of the day, I think that what Darius Slay did in this game, that touchdown, was absolutely major. We needed that. If we did not have that, again, I don't know if we win that game. So, it is what it is. I think that everybody's going to have a different opinion when it comes to that, but I loved what I saw Darius do out there, and I think that even Darius Slay just kind of helping people like Josh Jobe, calming him down a little bit on the sideline, talking to him on the sideline, talking to him out on the field, getting guys in position. You got to realize, outside of Bradbury and Darius Slay, that secondary is very new and young, and not just the secondary, the linebackers. So he needs the linebackers to help his secondary out, right? He needs his safeties to be over top. And, Justin Evans wasn't in position a lot of times, and he's a young guy. He hasn't played much NFL football. And I said, if he can stay healthy, we might have a steal, but I might be wrong, because that was not a good showing. That was not a good showing at all. So we'll see what happens there. I'm hoping that we can figure this out, especially offensively and especially defensively, because that's really, really what it is. Who the hell is Darius Slay? Did I spell his name wrong? I might have spelled his name wrong. I ain't gonna lie. I did it last night. I was really tired. Okay, it is what it is. But did I spell his name wrong? I don't think I did. Bradbury got cooked twice. Reed had to bail him out. Y'all know which 2 plays I'm talking about. Reed is a dog, bro. Reed is a dog. Oh, I can't put Darius. My bad. Yeah, I got to put big play Slay. My bad. Yeah, he don't like people saying Darius. You're right. That's my fault. He said, I think y'all have a coaching concern. I don't think we really have a coaching concern. I think that they just are. I think that there's areas of improvement for them, but I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, our coaches suck, especially not our offense. I'm not worried about our offense, if I'm being 100% honest. And I think that that's something I keep on kind of conveying through this live, is that the offense is not what I'm really worried about. The defense is where we need to really step it up. And, special teams got better, so hopefully they continue to keep getting better. Berto said make a move for a linebacker or a safety. I was looking at free agent linebackers. I don't really know who you would go out there and get. Kirksey kind of stands out, I guess. If you want to go get Jacoby Stevens again, like I said, Jacoby Stevens was a guy that played for the Eagles. We turned him into a linebacker before we cut him. So if you want somebody that maybe is a little bit familiar with the defense, I don't even know if he is, to be honest, because it's a whole new defense. But maybe you go get somebody that you remember, or that you have a familiar face. Maybe we can talk, Miles Jack out of being an electrician and come out of retirement and come back to football. I don't really know. Davion Taylor is out there. I mean, maybe they do. Is that an upgrade, though? I really don't know. That linebacker is going to, and we knew this, linebacker is always going to be something that we're going to be watching this year because it's such a depleted position. We don't really know who's going to be that guy. We were hoping to Kobe Dean. Kobe Dean wasn't even able to make it through the first game. If he misses 2 or 3 games, I don't go into next year feeling confident. Even if he finishes the year, if he doesn't miss another game, but he missed the first 3 games, I'm not going to feel confident next year. I'm not going to feel confident next year with him as our starter because who knows? Like, what the heck is going to happen? We can't just rest on, well, he played 15 games. That's good, right? No. We need guys. Last year, TJ Edwards played all year. We need guys that are going to play all year for us. We need to, and I know that it's a game. It's anything can happen, right? But I need guys that I can feel comfortable with going into the year knowing that, hey, they're going to play. I think we should bring Mauro Ellis as backup. Mauro probably is going to get called up. He didn't even make the team. He got cut and went to the practice squad. So I don't know how, confident I feel in Nicholas Mauro either. So, hey, great. Do not worry. It's only week 1. Take a chill pill. I think we're all right. I think we're good. I don't think I'm that upset. It was the Pats, y'all. We won. They lost, but they were good, not great. Yeah, they were decent. They were definitely decent. Giants fans need to just take a week off. Giants fans definitely need to take a week off. Can we still get Pat Queen? I don't know what the market is on him. I'll have to look that up. Maybe we can. I'll look into that, and tomorrow we'll start talking about some guys that maybe we can, replace our guys with it. It's going to be a tough one. This week is going to be really tough, man. We have to literally go into this week. It's a short week, 3 days, and we got to figure out what's going to happen at linebacker. Are we going to keep Justin Evans at that other safety spot? What are we going to do with Cam Jurgens? I think those are the 3 things that we realistically have to keep our eye on, and we realistically have to try and fix, because if we don't, we could be looking at a loss. The Vikings, while they lost to the Buccaneers, they're not a trash, especially offensively, team. So they are going to be hungry. They're going to be upset that they lost that game. They're going to come out and try and give us everything they got. So we'll see what happens. And Swift's usage, exactly. Yeah, you're 100% right. We got to see what the heck we're doing with DeAndre Swift, because having 1 carry is just not gonna cut it. It is not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it at all. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got still 53 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe if you guys are new. Other than that, we will be back tomorrow to go over the end results of the poll. 65 votes so far, and 58% of you guys are saying you're just happy with the win. 22% of you guys are confident, and 20% of you guys are nervous. I'm not part of that 20%. I'm part of the big number. I'm just happy we got the win. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, you guys know what it is. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. This is always so much fun to come on here and just chop it up with y'all, man. Because at the end of the day, was it beautiful? No. But was it a win? Yes. So screw Tom Brady. Screw the Patriots. We ain't going to see them again unless for some reason they somehow get to the Super Bowl or something like that. But I doubt that we're going to see them again. So we won. We move on. Let's focus on the Vikings now, and we'll see what happens, man. I'm hoping, I'm praying that there's going to be some changes made by the team. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's going to be. It's Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace.
Everywhere. This is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.